My apologies for keeping you waiting.
Vritra, I presume.
Indeed, this vessel now serves as a host for my eye. I was aware that the alchemists were busy preparing something, but this...
We couldn't well send you on such a perilous mission unprepared, Your Excellency. We spared no effort in crafting the body, and I dare say you'll find it adept at wielding weapons and magics both. 'Twas our intent to present it to you sooner, but we could not bring ourselves to do so, knowing we could yet improve it further. Pray forgive us.
There is naught to forgive. I am grateful for this fine vessel, and shall put it to good use. Again, I ask that you watch over Radzatan in my absence. The dangers we go to face are great and many, and I fear I will be unable to give matters here due attention. And in opening the Void Gate, there is ever risk that Voidsent will find their way into our world.
Rest assured, we are more than prepared. Our soldiers have been training under Master Estinian. On my honor, we will not suffer a single fiend to pass. So, think only of your mission, Varshan. Ah, but seeing as this is a different body, perhaps we should use a different name.
Nay, Varshan shall suffice. Though I may have thus grown up, I am as ever a little brother to you all.
As you say, as you say. Go then, Varshan, and best of luck.
I have something for you as well. While you were gone, Urianger paid us a visit. As you may recall, he joined us on our foray into Alzadar's legacy, in part to conduct research for the Loporrits. Research they were delighted to receive, and which has already inspired them to consider new ways to improve their own treasure vault. As a token of their gratitude, Livingway entrusted a familiar relic to Urianger. Aye, the crystal, which showed the way to Meteon. The Loporrits no longer have need of it, and thus saw fit to return it to us. Harboring the power of light, it could well aid us in our mission in the Void. And who better to bear Hydaelyn's gift than her chosen champion?
If there is nothing left to discuss, then let us depart. Our boat awaits us in Akyali. I shall now lift the seal. In the name of Al-Zadal III, I cast open this door unto the void!
Go. Absorb the Void Gate. It worked. We should have no trouble passing through a gate of that size.
What can we expect to find after stepping through?
On my previous foray, I emerged in a castle swarming with void scent. I was hopelessly outnumbered and forced to turn back. But together, I am confident we can hold our own. Upon our arrival, let us deal with any hostile entities and secure the area. The command of our mission, I leave in your capable hands. In the event of battle, I shall adapt my tactics to complement your own.
Should we require healing, I can provide it. 'Twould be a welcome change of pace from my recent havoc wreaking.
Take heart, my friends, and have faith. We will brave this broken world and rescue my sister Ajdaya.
So the gate did open again, and delivered the most mouth-watering morsels. I am Scarmelione, Archfiend of Earth and first of Golbez's Circle of Four. Such pleasure I will take in delivering you unto your graves. Oh, my flesh.
This Scarmalione, he knew the gate had opened.
And not for the first time. He and his brethren must keep watch over the portal.
As we do ours, but to unflinchingly consume a fellow Voidsent. Like men, perhaps they form factions and fight amongst themselves.
The question is, what will the minions do?
Your mistress is no more, and the one who consumed her we slew in turn. Do you still mean to try us?
I expect some Voidsent are more intelligent than others. Perhaps these ones simply do not understand our words.
Even beasts ought to understand strength.
There is much we do not know about Voidsent. If we are to survive their world, it would be wise to learn their ways. Sage advice, my friend. 'Tis reassuring to have one so experienced with us. I am here, sister. Finally here. And I will find you. I swear it.
You are the friend.
I see it now. The bottomless darkness. The insatiable hunger. The aura was present when we faced him in Garlemald.
How did it come to be here?
When Xenos died, its connection to the source was severed. It was forced to return to the void.
Xenos. Yes, that was his name. And you are the friend, are you not?
Is that Hydaelyn's crystal?
But how? The light just now. Of course. And thus I am returned.
What do you mean, returned? Who are you?
I was once bound to the man named Xenos. His avatar, until you killed him.
Avatar, as in the Void-sent servants of Reapers. In the name of his hunt, Xenos took up that traditional Garlean art. And through it, he forged a covenant with a being of the Void to lend him strength.
Covenant? A curse, more like. He stole my power. There was no equity in the arrangement. My very essence was altered, twisted into a tool to serve his desires.
Your previous appearance. This is your true form, then?
Perhaps, perhaps not. What does it matter?
Indeed, it doesn't.
Regardless of your form, you are a Void-sent by nature.
So answer me this. Are you our enemy too?
In this world, only a fool would attempt to devour a stronger being. And though it was as an avatar, I lost to you once, I have no desire to lose again.
Good enough for me.
Now, you will answer me a question. Xenos called you friend. That's what you are? A friend? So, you're not a friend. Then... what is it? What is a friend? This is where I belong. My home. This endless darkness you call the Void. There was once light here, and it shone its warmth upon creation. The lands were green and the seas were blue. Life flourished. Before the war, the Contra Memoria.
It must have been a terrible war indeed.
It shattered the balance, causing darkness to engulf the world. All life was transformed into monstrosities, void-sent. We are the natural order now.
As light begat sin-eaters, darkness begat void-sent.
The sun was driven from the sky as fleeting day yielded to endless night. In time, even land and sea lost their distinction. And though the spark of reason had died in us, driven by memory's shadow, we formed factions and carved out domains. This castle, for instance, its erstwhile lord must have abided in such a place once upon a time.
If I may, The darkness in you is too much for any man to harbor. To my eyes, you are indeed a void sent. Yet your knowledge of the past and your demeanor mark you apart from your brethren. You are different. That much is plain. But in what way, I am unsure.
As you say, I am void sent, but only in part. The darkness touched my mother when the war had only just begun, when I was still in the womb. As a child, I looked like any other, but darkness coursed through me, and I ceased to age when I become a woman grown. But that was then, and now, I may as well be one in full. I prey on the weak and serve the strong. I live to survive. Nothing more.
Forgive me. 'Twas not my intent to pry. I realize, too, that I've neglected to ask your name.
As we say mortal, you may call me void sent.
That is liable to cause confusion. If you are not averse, we would address you by your true name.
And call me what you will. I care not.
How about Zero?
Meaning nothing. A name as fitting as any.
No, not nothing, but rather a beginning. For it remains to be seen what you will become to us.
As I said, I care not. Zero, then. Partnership? Are you saying you wish to strike a bargain?
Well, Zero, while there is no end to the questions we could ask, it is only fair that we tell you our purpose in coming here. We are searching for a dragon. One who came to your world long ago.
A dragon?
Yes. Ashdaya is her name, and she is my sister. If you have any knowledge of her, I beg you share it with us. Did you say something?
No.
I thought I heard a voice as well. The keening of void scent, perhaps.
This place is as good as any. Let me have the ether now.
Very well.
You're mine! That I should miss my mark.
That fiend again? But we struck it down, watched it die.
Fools. Death doesn't exist in this world. And I am free. free to return whensoever I please.
Death doesn't exist. Of course, in the first, the power of light, of passivity, prevents life from emerging in the empty. But in the 13th, the power of darkness, of activity, prevents life from finding rest, even should soul be separated from flesh.
So unless one's essence is absorbed by another, it is possible to return again and again.
Your ether. It is reminiscent of that creature's. Ah, my mouth waters at the memory.
What?
I must devour you too. Yes, I must. Ye drifting souls, by my power be reborn!
It's another death they want. I say we give it to them.
If you could lend us a hand, we'd be much obliged.
That you would. But you already owe me a debt, and until you make good on it, I won't lift a finger. We'll speak after you've won. But know that if you lose, I'll help myself to your ether.
That a bothersome duty should deliver to me this lavish feast. Come, struggle with all your might. It will make you that much richer and tastier. When will you learn? No matter what you do, you cannot hope to win.
You never know until you try, and I'm always happy to experiment.
Zero! Is there no way to stop them from coming back?
There is, but I have no reason to share it with you.
You know, Zero, you do owe us for one thing. Your name. You'll have your promised ether, but we are owed compensation for your name.
A name for which I did not ask. But that I nevertheless did accept.
They've been crystallized.
Well now, that's quite the trick.
Satisfied?
Completely.
Come, my friends. With Zero's aid, we can defeat him.
What is this? What have you done?
Now that I think on it, you owe me a debt as well. You may have missed your mark, but I won't miss mine.
Fools! Do not think you have defeated me. I will return again and again! What? My flesh? Why won't it heal? What is the meaning of this? To seal ether in crystal. Memoria! But how? How can you have this power? Death has no place in this world. We are beyond it. And yet... Ah, Lord Golbez, you have sent me to my doom. Curse you and your wretched flattery, and this abominable fate.
You are welcome, seekers of might. I, Golbez, have called you for hither. I, who would see us triumph in the coming crusade. That I may entrust you with command of our armies.
Yes, but what of the crew's gift?
In exchange for our loyalty, we are to feast on the finest ether.
And so you shall, for if you are to serve me, you must be strong.
Then honor the pact, and pray we are not disappointed.
Very well. Behold.
The fiery wings, the savage horns. It pulses with life. Such vibrant ether. This magnificent creature could only come from beyond the veil.
Indeed. Feast, my friends. Feast and arise as my 4 arch-fiends. As they are now, They can consume but a fraction of the dragon's ether. Just as well, the creature may yet serve other ends.
Are you all right?
The Void Sense essence remains, but it has been sealed away, transformed into crystal.
Memoria. Scameleone called them. I take it they are connected to the war of which you spoke.
Aye. Their use was central to the Contra Memoria, hence its name. And to my knowledge, the transformation is permanent.
I see. We thank you for coming to our aid.
I repaid a debt, and in doing so ensured that I received my own due compensation, which I shall have now.
Yes, yes. I still have work to do, so I would thank you not to get carried away.
Ether is the coin of choice. I appreciate the simplicity.
That makes us even, I trust. Right then. When you picked up the crystal, you experienced a vision, did you not?
A dragon resembling a great worm. I dare to hope that it was Ashdaya. Even as it pains me to think she's been made to suffer.
For the ambitions of this Golbez.
We've been given much to consider. Let us take a moment to review what we know.
There it is. Good. It agrees to serve. Get on.
What is this place?
My domain. In the beginning, it was a sanctuary for me alone. But over time, others began to gather here. Those who had nowhere else to go.
A settlement of pariahs?
What's that? Mortals! They're mortals! Why didn't I sleep here? Let me have some, let me have some! Not fair. I don't want to believe.
You are under my protection here and will not be harmed. I give you my word. Follow me.
Not only did the mortals conquer Troy, they defeated Scarmalione. I struggle to believe it.
They're very small, my lords. They were aided by one of our world, who transformed Scarmalione's soul into crystal. Crystal? This one speaks of Memoria. Now there's something I've not heard for an age. It'll bring a pang of nostalgia to my breast and a tear to my eye. And the very notion was an absurd! Lifted our God, drowned in darkness. As well were you.
And yet Scarmalione still does not answer. Were he alive, he would have returned by now. Weakest though he was, his ability to regenerate was without peer. If this account is true, if a Memoriat has survived, they cannot be suffered to live.
Leave this matter to me, Lord Golbez. I, Arboritia, shall strike down any who pose a threat to our plans.
'Tis true, you are a proven commander, well suited to leading an assault.
And when I have succeeded, I would beg a boon of you.
What do you desire?
The Dragon's Ether. All that remains.
The insolence. Know your place.
With respect, my locks are free as the wind, without incentive to sway me. I know not whither they will blow.
Boldly spoken. I trust you will not disappoint me.
Upon this flowing hair and my immortal soul, I will not fail.
Then go. and impress upon these interlopers the futility of defiance.
My lord.
Amaricia! She has come!
And she's brought her domain with her. The Archfiend's after you and yours, I shouldn't doubt. Perhaps you should go and find them. But be warned, whatever this is about, do not expect us to get involved.
I can't bear it! Eating and being eaten! I only want to be left in peace!
You and me both.
One of the Archfiends approaches.
They must have been tracking our movements.
She's here.
Excellent. You've saved me the trouble of traveling to Troya.
So you're Barbaricia.
Mind your manners, mortal. My name is not to be spoken, save in reverence and fear. And what is this pitiful domain? Pitiful wretches all. I will put you out of your misery. Alas, poor Scarmiglione, and good riddance. Felled by outsiders in pursuit of what? Pray tell?
A dragon. One who crossed to this world thousands of years ago. Know you aught of it?
A dragon, you say? Huh. My Lord Golbez is more clever than I realized. To let the prize live, that it might lure more prey to us. Very well. In gratitude and service, I shall devour every last mote of their souls.
Where is she? Where is Ashdaya?
Huh. You even share its scent. How curious. And irresistible.
If you think us easy prey, you're wrong.
Unlike Scarmiglione, I need not skulk in shadow to claim what is mine. If you would know about the dragon you seek, then enter into my domain. You may flee instead if you wish, if the fate of the sorry lot here is of no concern to you. One way or another, I will have satisfaction.
What's the plan then?
Indeed. Yet she will have the upper hand in her domain. We must be no less than fully prepared.
We find her and get our answers. Will you be joining us, Zero?
You may be easily goaded into accepting her challenge, but my curiosity is not so insatiable as to cloud my judgment. Nevertheless, if you are desperate for my aid, you know my price.
I shall pay it. So long as you leave me strength enough to see my sister home, you may take as much as you wish. And lest you forget, mine is no ordinary ether. Barbaricia too recognized its potency.
Very well. We have a bargain.
You're not the only ones who can ride the wind!
Leave these ones to us.
I see to Barbaricia.
Come, give yourselves to my scouring winds that I may feast upon your essence. No! I will not be denied! There's still time. With more of the dragon's ether, I can yet... You're finished. Damn it all!
I see you've bested Barbaricia. Well done.
Her minions too are all crystallized or scattered. The day is ours.
What of my sister? Tell me you learned something about Ashdaya. So the Archfiend and her crystal yielded not.
Our efforts have not been entirely fruitless. We have deprived your sister's captor of another powerful champion. With Zero, we may yet challenge Golbez and his minions.
Indeed. We could not have come this far without your aid. Thank you, Zero.
I but fulfilled my part of the bargain. And now I will have my...
Her ether is nearly spent. Perhaps unsurprising given how much power she used.
I wouldn't want to face another Archfiend without her. We should hurry back to Zero's domain.
Agreed. Eager though I am to continue, it would be unwise to risk our lives for the sake of haste. Let us suspend the mission and tend to Zero.
You're all safe. Thank the sisters.
A moment while I close the gate. There. We may rest easy for now. Was there any trouble? I expect some void scent slipped through.
A few did, aye. But we were ready and dealt with them without incident.
That is well. I cannot thank you enough for your vigilance.
Yes, you're grateful. But aren't you forgetting something more important? You know, the polite but warm formalities one delights in hearing when their little brother returns from a long journey.
Indeed, you are right. It is good to be home again, among those who I love dearly and missed so much.
And we are glad to receive you, Vashan. Welcome home.
Chambers have been prepared for your use at Megaduta. Let us take Zero there at once. Our mission took many an unexpected turn. I am relieved that we have all returned safely. But before you all enjoy the rest you have earned 12 times over, I would consult you on one last matter.
Zero.
While she appears none the worse for wear, she remains locked in slumber, and I cannot help but worry. Is there aught we can do to expedite her recovery? If her ether is exhausted, perhaps I can share some of mine now.
In the wastelands of the 13th, one can only replenish ether by taking it from others, be it by trade or by force. In contrast, the source is rich in ambient ether. Simply being here and drawing breath, Zero will absorb what she needs.
Then we need but wait?
I believe so. She will awaken in time, and when she does, give her something to eat. Judging by her form, she should also be able to derive nourishment from food. I know you promised her your ether, but perhaps she might appreciate fine harnish cuisine more.
Food can certainly be arranged.
She looks like any other person. Unsurprising, perhaps, given that she is only part void-sent.
Zero said before that Xenos had altered her essence. A change wrought, I suspect, with the power of darkness. It acted upon the part of her that is void-sent, rendering it dominant. Thus we were able to reverse it with the power of light. I labor to believe that Xenos possessed such arcane knowledge. In all likelihood, it came from Fandaniel. Were Zero wholly void-sent, I doubt the crystal would have had an effect on her. One might say that Hydaelyn had a hand in your meeting.
'Tis no exaggeration to say that Zero has proven herself invaluable. A boon from Hydaelyn herself. Her cooperation may come at a price, but whatever it is, I am willing to pay it. Exhausting though it may be at times.
Light. Is this an inn? What happened? How did I get here? There's no time. I must rejoin the battle. I must...
Oh, you're awake! Wonderful! Ah! Ah!
What is this? Some sort of fiend?
A fiend? Where is it? Where? Ah, but this is no time for jokes. You're in the source, my dear. The world next door, so to speak. The others brought you here after you collapsed. I'll fetch them at once. Wait, just a moment.
I took the liberty of arranging refreshments. I hope you find them as flavorful as they are invigorating.
This isn't what you promised. I suppose ether is ether.
Wait. Don't tell me you don't know how to eat?
I took what I needed from it. What's the problem?
Where's the enjoyment in that? You're supposed to bite, to chew, to savor, and then swallow. That's the way. So, did it taste good?
I don't know.
The long years without eating may have dulled your sense of taste.
Well, we Void Scent have no need for such when consuming others. There are some who speak of taste when describing the quality and affinity of their prey's ether. But I loathe the act. Taking ether in small amounts like this is one thing, but diluting my essence, diminishing myself, I'd sooner die. And I have died, countless times.
You have? But what happens when you do?
Not much. After a while you return, together with all your expended life force. The important thing is to die where others won't devour you.
Amazing! My peers who study immortality and resurrection would be most interested in this phenomenon.
The question of taste aside, I am glad that you are able to partake of food like us. I dare say it agrees with your personal preferences.
That's true. You can keep giving me the same on a regular basis.
Very well. As my guest, I shall see that you do not want for comfort. And one other thing. We brought you to our world without your consent, and for that, I apologize. If you wish it, we will return you to yours once you have regained your strength.
It's fine. I have no reason to go back. Except for yours, perhaps. You intend to cross over again, I take it.
I do. I have yet to find my sister. I want nothing more than to rush to her aid, to find this Golbez and free her from his clutches, if he still holds her captive.
Though if our recent experience has taught us anything, 'tis that the 13th is more dangerous than we ever imagined. Caution must be our watchword.
Better late than never. In the short time you spent in our world, you left a trail of chaos in your wake. You managed to return in one piece this time, but don't assume you'll be so lucky the next.
Rest assured, we will make no assumptions and spare no preparation. Speaking of which, while we rest and ready ourselves, I ask that you tell me more about your home. In return, I will tell you about ours. I will show you my domain, Radzat-Han.
Again, a stranger in this strange land. have a condition. You must come too.
You have my thanks. So, what are your impressions of Radzatan?
There's a lot of mortals.
Considering your origin, I can see why that might be your first observation. Though they would call each other people, I think. If you wish to know about our fair city, I should be glad to place a guide at your disposal.
No need. I'll show myself around. There's only so much about my home I can share with you in return, after all. While I remember some few tales of the past, I cannot speak to their authenticity. But if that is enough, then I will tell you of the events that saw darkness engulf our world. The Contra Memoria.
We are all ears. Please.
Long ago, light filled the world and all was at peace. But then the servants of darkness came, and they bequeathed a black art unto men. Channeling the power of hope and prayer, one could call forth fearsome beings known as Eidolons.
The Ascians. And these Eidolons are surely primals.
Then you have faced the same, and understand that when an Eidolon is birthed, strife follows. And in such strife, the weak are the first to suffer. When it seemed the world would be plunged into chaos, heroes appeared. They who were blessed with a singular power, the power to bind the ether of Eidolons within crystals known as Memoria. My mother was one such Memoriate, but in fighting to save many, she herself was touched by darkness, as was I.
And so you were born part Voidsent, before the world was overcome.
How exactly did that calamity come to pass? Did the Memoriates not triumph?
They did. They expunged the seeds of chaos and restored the peace, only to find themselves seduced by the darkness they had sealed. They spread the taint, transforming men into monsters, what you call Voidsent, and raised armies to wage new wars.
Not the first to be corrupted by power, nor the last.
Some defied temptation and held fast to the light. My mother and I among them. For years and years we fought, but it was not enough. And when our strength was spent, our bulwarks broken, so too was the world.
The flood of darkness.
The stars faded from the heavens as a pall black as pitch enveloped creation. Darkness raged unchecked, rending the very walls of reality. I was cast into the rift, and there trapped for what felt like an eternity. Until I came upon a crack. Tiny, infinitesimal, but enough for me to squeeze through. And find my world changed beyond recognition, into the lightless waste you saw.
So that is how you were able to escape becoming a Voidsent in full.
I suppose I should consider myself fortunate. Were I like most others, I wouldn't have lasted a day before being devoured. We, the Lost, are better equipped to survive in a lost world.
A lost world, you say? I wouldn't be so sure. The 13th is still there, is it not?
What are you getting at?
To explain requires that we initiate you into the truth of the source and its reflections. Be warned that this will take a while.
Then, unlike the worlds that have been rejoined, mine still...
The Oracle of Light prevented the first from being completely overcome. So the situation may not be completely identical to that of your 13th. But the fact remains that we were able to restore a measure of balance to a world brought to the brink of destruction. Which gives me cause to hope there may be a way to restore light and life to the 13th. Of course, these are only possibilities. I offer no guarantees. But having experienced what we have, I dare say we are more qualified than most to speak on the matter.
Wait, I don't understand. Why would you say these things? As if you mean to... But the sole reason you came to the Void was...
To find a dragon, aye. And in light of what we've seen, we'd be fools to strive for more. But we Scions, former Scions, begging your pardon, have a habit of not leaving well enough alone. And old habits die hard, don't they, my friend?
Restoring the light would serve our efforts to find and free Ashdaya. There is no reason not to try.
Do as you will. I have no desire to save that world.
Be that as it may, we will have need of your power when next we face Voidsent.
You know how it works. If you want my help, you must pay my price. And now that you've drawn Golbez's attention, it's going to cost you more. A lot more. I will consider this a deposit.
First Scarmiglione, and now Barbariccia. Useless, the both of them.
'Twas no lie. They conspire with a Memoriat.
And their search for the dragon will lead them here. The war looms nigh. We cannot allow these interlopers to interfere.
If I may, my lord, I have a plan to eliminate them. In order to guarantee its success, however, I will require Cagnazzo's cooperation. There's sport to be had, then I'll play along. As much as I dislike following your lead, I have no patience for scheming.
Well and good to have confidence, but do not forget the cost of failure.
Rest assured, I will see the dream to fruition. Even should I be consumed by my own flames, I will pave the way for one and all.
Then I will trust in your oath and your plan.
We will give you cause to rejoice, my lord. This I vow. Ha-ha! Some excitement for a change.
No sacrifice is too great. Even should my 4 archfiends be lost, I will not halt my steps. The prison of passivity is an obstacle to my cause, and so you must fall. What irony that the blessed damned should set us free. As I swore so long ago. The gate lies open. At long last, my ambition shall be fulfilled!